Welcome to Cord Cutting This Week, episode number 80, the show where I give you my thoughts on some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now. If you want to learn more about these stories, I'll put a link in the show notes down below to each story that I talk about today, so you can read about them for yourself and come up with your own opinions. These are the stories I think have the greatest impact going forward in the world of cord cutting, and were some of the biggest stories from the past week to make sure you didn't miss anything important. If you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we're doing here. Hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. Before we get into it though today, I wanted to take a moment and say a special thank you to everybody. We have set record traffic across the board in May. It was an unbelievably great month. Typically our slowest time of the year is doing unbelievable. I really want to say thank you. So many people have been joining our YouTube channel here, our social media, visiting the site. I'm really grateful for that. I really do appreciate it. We got bigger and better things to come, which will hopefully help you break free from the high cost of cable TV and maybe save some money in the world in general. So keep an eye on that. Big plans coming throughout the summer and into the fall and even next year. So But none of this would have been possible without you. It always pains me to hear cable executives say, that's just saving 60, maybe $100. People won't give up our cable to save $60. When they don't really realize that for some people, $60 is the difference between a prescription or not getting a prescription, putting food on the table and not maybe having gas to go to work or not that month. So I really thank you. Our goal here is to give you a real honest look at the world of cord cutting from an average perspective. It's something we try to do here. And we thank you to everybody who shares our site with other people. Hopefully you've helped them save some money. Hopefully you're helping them save 60 or $100 a month so that they have that money that maybe they need to spend elsewhere, but still can find enjoyment and entertainment. So a special thank you. I have a full written thank you in the show notes down below where I really break some of this out. I really just wanted to say thank you. I never thought our YouTube channel would be this successful. I have big plans for it in the future. They got a little delayed, but they're still in the works. So thank you so much. And as a way to say thank you, we are having a giveaway that ends on Monday. So don't wait. We're giving away a Fire TV Stick 4K, a Fire TV Recast over-the-air DVR, and a $100 Netflix gift card to one lucky viewer or reader over at cordcuttersnews.com. Link in the show notes for terms and conditions and how to enter that giveaway. All right, first deal of the day real quick. Starz is $5 a month for the first 3 months sale will reportedly come to an end on Monday. A Starz representative has told Cord Cutters News that they intend to cancel it on Monday. Things can change. Deals can end early. Deals can get extended. Happens all the time. But as of our last communication with Starz, you have until Monday to sign up for this $5 a month for the first 3 month deal. As I always say, shop around. Don't be afraid to drop a service and add a service. Game of Thrones is over. Chernobyl is coming to an end. Maybe pick up Starz for a few months and cancel HBO. So link in the show notes to that deal down below. We would greatly appreciate it because it will help us out. All right, next story of the day. So summer's here. You're probably looking for something to do with your kids. I know I have a 6-year-old who is really ready to go do some stuff, and I don't want her sitting in front of the TV all day. So Jess, I should say, came up with this massive list. It is massive. Dozens of things to do that are cheap or free with kids. There's some TVs. There are things like discounted movies at movie theaters like Cinemark and AMC theaters, to name a few. All the ways to discounted movie or museum trips and fun activities and tours and all kinds of stuff you can do with your kids. Very cheap or free. So check out that list. I'll put it down in the show notes, and I would love to hear from you. Do you know of a great activity? I mean, we got things in here like free gym memberships for teenagers if they're looking to get out there and work out some energy. So we'll put all those links down there, but I'd love to hear from you what you would add to this list. Do you know of some cool event or activity? Try to keep them more national, but even some regional ones would be appreciated. And maybe we can help people find something fun to do this summer that won't cost an arm and a leg with your kids. All right, next story of the day. T-Mobile is reportedly is the streaming or phone service with the most satisfied customers, more satisfied than Verizon and AT&T. This comes from the American Customer Satisfaction Index, which is the one that did the one on streaming services a few weeks ago. Has now released theirs, and their phone one. According to them, 76% of T-Mobile subscribers are satisfied, 74% of Verizon and U.S. Cellular customers, and 37% of AT&T customers. Now, they're very close, not a huge difference, but T-Mobile does push themselves as, hey, we got the customer service experience down. Even if their network may not be the best one, they are really improving that, though. And I've definitely thought about taking a second look at T-Mobile in the past. But I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this. Are you a Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, U.S. Cellular, something else? How is your satisfaction on this? You know, one of the things that after saving money on TV, one of the big questions we get is how to save money on cell phone service. And bouncing around could be one of those options. You can port your phone number. So I'd love to know, are you happy? Did you switch from something to something else? Why did you do it, and what did you enjoy about it? Leave us a comment. I'll love to hear from you. And I'd love to know, do you agree with this study? Do you really think T-Mobile has the best customer service, most satisfied customers? Let me know. All right, next one up. We've heard for a little while, back in April, it was announced that Amazon intended to launch home internet from space by launching low Earth orbit satellites and then blanketing the planet and offering internet worldwide. Now, Amazon CEO has sat down this week and given an interview and talked about his reasoning behind this and his plans. And one of the things he says is he wants to make broadband basically a human right, if I'm remembering the quote correctly. But that was the gist of it, a human right to have broadband internet. And they hope that this way, underserved markets, rural America, rural parts of the world, where internet's very difficult right now, having it from space will go there. Early reports from SpaceX's service that they're already starting to put satellites in space to do this has been very encouraging. These satellites are half the distance, basically, from the current satellites for high-speed internet. So they're much lower to the ground, very low Earth orbit, much better latency, much better speed. And the truth is, if you're only streaming Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, you don't need a ton of speed. Once you get over 100 down and all you're doing is streaming Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Sling TV, you're not going to see a massive change. And I've heard that from executives at some of the largest streaming services out there of names you heard. They've told me that once you get over 100 down, the return on streaming is very minor. So even if this is only 50 or 100 down, if you live in rural America, you live in countries around the world where internet's not very good, this is massive. This is ground changing in the world. Now, Amazon's doing this because they want you to have more internet access because that helps their business, right? Giving you internet means you're likely to buy things on Amazon, or they have the Amazon Web Services, which a lot of websites use and build off. So you could very well see that even if you're not buying on Amazon, you may be using a service that uses Amazon's storage there to make that happen. So I'd love to hear from you about your plans. Do you think you plan to get Amazon's home internet service? I'd love to hear from you. One of the things that Jeff Bezos, I hope I say that right, says is you have equal broadband. When they launch these satellites, they hope to offer equal broadband all over the surface of the Earth. Not exactly equal. It tends to be a lot more centered towards concentrated towards the poles, unfortunately. But he was talking a little bit here, and I didn't read the full quote, but he's talking a little bit here about the idea that, we want to have equal broadband. We don't want broadband a little bit in cities, and then basically no broadband in rural America. And that's the great thing about this service is it will go over the entire planet. It will offer you internet, which I love. I'm up in Michigan traveling with family right now. When I go camping, be able to just have that internet there and not worry about it. Heck, I recently moved my home this year. Instead of having to cancel my internet, move it down the road to a new home, now I can just say, hey, I'm just taking that hardware with me to the new house, and now I have internet. I don't have to call Amazon, don't have to change anything. So I'm very excited about this. But according to this, by definition, you end up accessing people who are under bandwidth. Was the idea is people who don't have high-speed internet. They may be stuck to very slow internet, DSL, options, etc. Very rural areas, remote areas, and I think you can see going forward that internet access to broadband is going to be very close to being a fundamental human need as we move forward. So he said need, not right, but you get the idea. So I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited about SpaceX. There's a couple other companies doing this. I'm very excited about 5G. I'm very excited about fixed wireless. The idea that there'd be internet everywhere. And I'd love to know what you think. I think this would be revolutionary for cord cutting, as we've talked about many times. The idea of breaking free from home internet is the next stage of cord cutting. And I think Amazon with their satellite and SpaceX with their satellite service could be a big part of that. So let me know, would you cancel Spectrum if it gave you a fast enough internet connection to stream what you want? Or Comcast. All right, earlier this week we reported on a service called YT Family, which was reselling YouTube TV family share plans for $19.99. And they were offering the ability to go out there and sell YouTube TV accounts that were slightly limited for a fraction of the price of a regular $50 account. They did this because Google allowed you through YouTube TV to share your account with up to 6 people. You were still limited to only 3 streams, but you could create an account for your kids or your spouse, so they had their own DVR and their own setup right there. And Google said for YouTube TV that this was intended for people living in the same house, family members, right there. Well, YouTube TV was reselling those accounts there for $19.99. Google has finally reached out to Cord Cutters News and sent us the following statement that says, our terms of service prohibit sharing accounts outside the same household or family living together. We take these violations seriously, and once notified of an infringing tool, we take appropriate actions. Which may explain what happened to YouTube TV as it now, or with YT Family, as it now redirects to YouTube TV's website. So Google did not comment when we requested a comment about that change, if they could give us any details. But it seems that Google did quickly move to block this service as a violation of their terms of service. Violation of terms of service is breaking the rules. You can lose your subscription to a service if you violate the terms of service. So I'm very interested to hear what you think of Google's response here. Also, if you used YT Fam to get YouTube TV, did you lose access to your internet? What happened to your YouTube TV account when they were shut down here? Was it shut down? Did you get a notification at all? I'd love to hear from you if you've received any word about this on your end. Well, that's it for today. Kind of a short episode. I am on vacation next week, but I will be here doing videos from another location. So hang in there. We'll be back to do all your cord cutting Q&A questions on Wednesday, and our Cord Cutting Today questions all next week. But I hope you have a fantastic Saturday and Sunday. Don't forget about that Starz deal because it ends on Monday, $5 a month for the first 3 months. Link in the show notes down below. Take care, everybody. Be safe, and thank you for your support.